We're on Shabbat, Perek Tet, Mishnah Zayin, 7th Mishnah, the 9th chapter of Shabbat. We're in the last Mishnah of the minimum quantities of different items that you'd be chayav on hotza'ah. It says the Mishnah, Hamotzi kupat rochlin. Kupat rochlin, well, let's look at the Bar Tunura. Okay? Rochlin are spice makers. Mochrei b'samim de kishutei nashim. It's perfume. They were like traveling perfume salesmen. V'yesh lam kupot ktanot, and they had these small, I would guess they were like kupot or boxes or containers. Litzrorot b'samim. So you have a bunch of different containers. So afa pi sheyesh behem minim harbe. Even though in the entire I guess tray that he had with him, he has many species. Eno chayav ela achat. It's only chayav one isur. He only is chayav on one hotza'ah when he takes out the whole box, because he's taking out a bunch of different spices all in the same time. Zirone gina. If I want to have seeds for the garden, pachot mikigrogeret. Okay, I'm chayav even though normally food is a grogeret, is the size of a dried fig. Nonetheless, for the seeds, they're not food, so you'd be chayav even if you had less than a grogeret. Okay? Says Mishnah Rav Yudah ben Betera Omer Chamisha. Yudah ben Betera says the minimum amount of seeds of garden seeds you would take out in order to be chayav is 5. Bar Tunura says we don't pass them like him. But zera kishuim shnayim. Zera diluim. Kishuim are gourds. Kishuim are squash. Well, and there are cucumbers in their case. Or zera diluim are gourd seeds 2. Zera pul hamitzri, the Egyptian bean, shnaim. So if you have either, so in those cases, these seeds were significant, were important, and therefore, even if you only took out 2 seeds, you'd be chayav. Chagav chay taor kol shehu. If I have a kosher grasshopper, even though no matter how big it is, it's still kol shehu. It's any amount. Why? The Bar Tunura says, why chagav chay? Shematzniim oto lekatan nesachek bo. Because if you found a grasshopper, you take it home for your son to play with, or your daughter, of course. You want to have. So therefore, any size of grasshopper you take back, it's okay. Mate, but if it's dead, then kagogeret. Then it has to be the size of a dried fig. Because if you have less than the size of a dried fig, then it's not the shiur of food. Ziporet kramim ben chaya ben meta kol shehu. Ziporet kramim is a different kind of a bird. Of shematzui ben adikalim abachurim. Okay, it's a certain kind of bird that they found amongst the dekel, amongst the trees. Ben chaya ben meta kol shehu, whether it was alive or dead. Why she'osim imenu refuah lifkoach ulachkim? They would use the remnants, the carcass of this bird, to make some kind of medical treatment. So therefore, the bird itself they were matzniim, they would save it. So any amount. Why shematzniim utal refuah? You would save it for medical reasons. Rabbi Yudah says, Afa motzi chagav chay tamei kol shehu. Even if I found a non-kosher tamei, a non-kosher live grasshopper, and they obviously knew which grasshoppers were kosher and which were not, any size is okay. It's still chayav. Why shematzniim oto lekatan lischokba? Because even the non-kosher grasshoppers, you would still save it for your child, to take home. So, of course, if you're going to save a grasshopper to take home, then why would the Tanakama say only chagav tahor? Because he says, Tanakama savar tamei ein masinin toletino, because he said people wouldn't save their non-kosher grasshoppers, dilma mayit ve'achele, because maybe the child will eat it if it dies, and the child won't know the difference between kosher and non-kosher. But Rabbi Yudah says no. Rabbi Yudah says that people would save it and take it home to play with. We learned a few things in this Mishnah. First thing is that people used to play with grasshoppers. The second thing is, it's really a question of what would people be matzniya? What would they save? And that which they would normally save, that's something that you're chayiv on hotza'ah, and not something that you wouldn't save. We'll stop here. We're going to continue on this idea of what they would be matzniya in the very next chapter. If you have any comments or questions, as always, contact me at my email address, rspotter@gmail.com. I got a lovely email from a user in London today, but he's not going to see this because he's not on this Masechta. That's okay. But I really appreciate hearing from people. If you have any comments or questions, email me here. And we'll dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.